let's talk about the open or the positions that I've been watching. Now, my Aussie Singapore kangaroo tail on the 4-hour close. This happened last week on Thursday, and we had a live webinar then, and we watched that one go woo. It actually didn't really hit the first target until the gap opening on the first day of the trading week, which is Sunday or Monday, depending on where you're at. For most of you, it's going to be Sunday. For me, it's Monday, because I'm just a little bit ahead over here in Asia. Okay, so this one's all done for me. I actually held out hoping that it would hit this last level right here. The other one we looked at on Thursday, so that one's done for me. The other one we looked at on Thursday was this one, which was this little tail, this little almost kangaroo tail looking thing up here. There wasn't really anything magic about it. The reason why I drew a line here at 57.25 is if you go back to the daily, you can see that that's where it couldn't get beyond that. And let me show you. You go, oh, sorry. Was it the daily? No, it wasn't the daily. It wasn't the daily. It was the 1 hour. Hold on. Go back here. It's going to be right here. There it is. See this high right here on this candle? That was sort of the line in the sand. So we were looking for a candle to extend beyond that and give us a nice tail. And the webinar was during these two candles. So it didn't happen. We were hoping and hoping. It happened during these two candles. And then finally, a couple hours later, it did give us that nice extension beyond there. Unable to close above it. And then it just fell like a brick. That trade also is now over. That hit all of the clear targets, which is this level right here, this one right here, and then this one all the way down here. And it actually went further than that, which is great. But that's probably not so interesting. Let's look at the trades that I'm watching right now. The trades that I'm in right now, well, the one that I'm in right now is actually this one, which is the Euro Aussie. Now, the Euro Aussie printed what we call a belt candle. The Euro Aussie will probably also give us a sell signal that I'm going to be waiting for. And that would be if it gets up to this area right here, the 1.2170 area right here. Everyone sees where we have a bounce right here. Since we've had support there in a double bottom, it's likely that when it gets up here, it's going to hold and not let it through, at least not initially. And see how this daily candle actually paused there as well. So you can see that it respected that level on the way down, and on the way up, it's likely to do that as well. The reason why I've gone long on this pair is because it's gone higher than the high of the belt candle here. So this belt candle is simply a belt. If you don't have the belt book, you can email me and I'll give it to you, right? Everyone here gets it free. But basically, a belt is a gap opening. Here's my email right here. It's walter@fxjake.com. walter@fxjake.com. This is how it works. The market closed on Friday at 117.12, and then it opened on Monday here in Australia at 116.95. So it actually opened down 17 pips lower, and then it closed up near the high. So that's a belt, okay? Now, I wanted it to, let's zoom in here so you can see. Go bullish engulfing. I'm long the Euro CAD too, says FX Deviant. Yeah, so we're totally in with the Euro. I hope it goes higher. So this little blue thin thing here shows the high of that belt candle. It actually didn't trigger the next day, but it printed a bullish enough candle that I decided to leave it in today, and it did trigger today. It's in a bit of a drawdown now, and I'm looking to take profit here. Well, actually, this is probably a really poor chart to look at. Let's go to another chart, and then we'll have actually a better look at this. So it's the Euro Aussie. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So it's the Euro Aussie here. The buy was at 18.30. My stop's down below the belt at 16.90, this red number. The first target's 119.30, 120.25, and then hopefully 121.70. When it gets to 121.70, I'll watch it like a hawk for a possible sell trade on the 4-hour chart. So that's what I've got going on this pair. So this one has actually triggered. It's totally in the game for me. Now, the other one is the euro pound. The euro pound here, oh, you know what? I just realized that on some of the accounts I'm trading, I didn't cancel this order. Well, this one's in too. So I just realized I'm in this trade. Okay, great. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about, MJ. MJ's talking about the Euro Aussie, so he's in the Euro Aussie too. Yeah, so this one right here, really interesting. Same sort of scenario. You have a belt trade on the euro pound, but it did a nasty retrace yesterday. And I generally don't like to get into a trade if it does a really, really nasty retrace. However, you'll notice that the retrace on this belt was almost identical to the retrace on the left. Look at this candle right here on the left. The low is 77.70. Then we have our belt, which of course every belt is a gap opening. And then we have another one right here where the low is 77.67. So it only went 3 pips lower. So it's just about the same as the retrace on the left. So it's a parallel sort of retrace. And you'll notice, and I've noticed, that generally speaking, these parallel retrace things happen often. For example, check out this kangaroo tail. Whoops. Check out this kangaroo tail right here. This would be one of those with the trend type kangaroo tails. If you don't know what a kangaroo tail is, you can also email me for that book too. But I think I've noticed a lot of familiar traders here. So you probably have the kangaroo tail book and the belt book and, you know, the big shadow and all that stuff. If you don't, you can email me and I can give it to you. But here's an example of this sort of principle that we've seen over here on the euro pound in practice here on a with the trend kangaroo tail. How do we know that this kangaroo tail is with the trend? Well, it's because it's not a reversal kangaroo tail. It looks like this kangaroo tail just barely pierces our trend line that connects these highs on this downtrend here. So look to the left of this kangaroo tail. See that high right there? That high is at 81.86. Look to the right of the kangaroo tail. The high is at 81.84.9, or basically round up to 81.85. In other words, the retrace on this kangaroo tail came within 1 pip of the left leg of the kangaroo tail. This is the kangaroo tail's left. If we're like, let's pretend that we're God and we're looking down on this kangaroo tail. This would be the kangaroo's tail. This would be the kangaroo's right leg, but it's left for us, looking at the kangaroo tail from this angle. And then the kangaroo tail's left leg is over here, or right, depending on whatever. Other leg is right here. And the legs are just about the same size, aren't they? You've got, the important thing here is the retrace. The retrace against the kangaroo tail is almost equal on both sides. And that's exactly what we have here, a really close retrace. So even though I generally don't like to take these trades, in fact, I did peel off this order when it retraced that much today. It's okay if you get a parallel retrace, because those are pretty good signs. Let's see if we can find another one here. Here's another one right here. This isn't really a nice kangaroo tail because the open and the close of this candle are not in the top third of the candle. But if you look here, you get a little left side of the kangaroo tail and right side. This one sags a little bit lower, so it's not perfect. But let's see if we can find another one here. Here's another one right here. You got this little kangaroo tail right here. The high on this candle, 85.99. The high on this candle, 86.04. So it's 5 pips higher. So you tend to see these things at about the same level. Here's another one right here. This isn't quite a kangaroo tail because the open and the close are not in the bottom third. But again, what's the high here? The high on the day after is 88.47, and the high on the day before the kangaroo tail is 88.43. This sort of stuff happens all the time on this pair.